Hello and welcome back to the brand new TearDown DLC Time Campers, where at the moment I'll be taking saltpeter and turning it into explosives. Whilst taking the saltpeter into the mines, I realised that the mines have been expanded. I've been doing some digging and actually tried to take the pickaxe and actually pick some sand away, or whatever the hell that is. Obviously it didn't work, it's teardown. And also I even tried to get some rock in there as well. It didn't work, so I just chucked it. Even used my hammer. So I take the saltpeter over to the workbench. Also check some other things out. But I take it over there and it turns into 3 new pick-upable pieces of equipment, which are explosives. Now, outside the mine, I saw this saw and I wanted to try it out on this piece of timber. So I tried going up and down, obviously didn't work, and I even tried to go side to side. Didn't work, but I'm not surprised, we're in teardown. Now on to the next mission, Space-Time Mess, or the actual mission, which is called Hiding Traces. This passage of writing describes it. I'm not going to bother reading aloud this passage of writing. I'm just going to allow you to pause it, and you can read it by yourself. Thank you. Now onto the mission at hand. We go to Mineral Ravine to play the mission Hiding Traces to steal 5 targets that are apparently stuck in time loops. Starting the mission off, I see this near target stuck on the top of the roof, for which I have a grand idea of hammering a staircase into it so you can easily travel up and grab it like that. On to the next target, which is apparently a lever jack that is stuck on the top of a churchy bell tower. Realizing that this is the farthest object that's furthest away from the escape vehicle, I make it the first object to steal. The next thing I do is use my handy dandy spray can to plan my route, and while doing that I run into the ravine, for which I need to be able to bridge and get that second object. Now back at my escape vehicle, I devise a plan to bridge the gap, and first thing I come across is these rails, which I immediately think to use as a way to bridge the gap, and I figure out that you can cut the rail off of the ground and use it. So I take my hammer and hammer all the dirt and timber underneath the rail that's connecting it to the ground off, and use my blowtorch to cut the 2 ends. Next I have to take this long heavy metal rod across the map to bridge the gap. I even made it shorter so it's easier to carry across the map. While doing so, I come across this wagon that's totally in my way, so I try to even push it away with a rod, but that didn't work. I even tried using my hands. Almost got it out the way, but still got very annoying to get it out the way. But I end up going past it by just going under the fence, just slipping it under the fence. Fence? Gate. And it actually turned out pretty funny. I don't know, it's kind of cool. Now at the broken bridge, I struggle to get it over there. I carry the rod over the ravine very slowly and gently, just so it doesn't fall or become off balance, but I cut it to the right length, for which it doesn't topple over. Look at that, that is amazing. Wow, I'm incredible. Look at that. Now I'm just shimmying it down the ravine and making it, well, just making sure it doesn't fall, and also practicing the run. But I realized that I definitely shouldn't go that way, and while running I should stop halfway, jump and grab the object, and turn the other way. I realized that the next object is in the clock tower that is miles away, and I can do this little special trick that you can just walk right over the rocks and go into the house, as it would simply save time. For some reason I thought I could use my wall trick to get on top of the house and save some time somehow, somewhere. The next challenge was climbing up that clock tower to get the part in the quickest time possible, and I saw this ladder while barging my way through, these 2 ladders actually, and Realized that, there's some nice clockwork as well. But, yeah, getting to the part was going to prove to be difficult as it was actually way higher than I expected it to be. Now, finding a fast way to get to the object, I look outside and I try to jump at it, but it didn't work, so I had to go a little bit higher, and still some issues, but I got there in the end. And actually accidentally broke it down. After quick loading, I quickly realized that it's good enough, and I say, yeah, let's go on to the next object to steal. Realizing that the object is again miles into the air, I see this flimsy ass ladder and try to use it, but it's way too horrible to use as it's literally strung together through string. It's useless. Finding a way to grab the object, I rock climb the wall and jump off it and try to grab it. Now onto the final object, I take my spray can and spray my route, and also establish a much better staircase to use than I had beforehand. After climbing up the house and grabbing the object, I should run immediately over to my escape vehicle. Now onto the first attempt of the mission. My metal bridge trick worked very well here. For some reason I thought there was an object up here, but no. It was difficult to get up the ladder here. I felt pretty bad here, therefore I reran it. I found out that this part was actually quite hard to get up. I took this part way slower. With 9 seconds left at this point, I knew I had to make some changes to the run. I had to make this path a little bit more clearer. Instead of going onto the house, I would rather jump down to the rocks onto the ground and run through the house like this. So that I can reach the next object that's on the clock tower, I used my wall trick to get up there using the hammer, and eventually I got there. Now some metal was in the way, but I just got rid of it with a blowtorch, it was fine. Here I used 2 planks and this shack to get up to the object way quicker than just rock climbing. I made getting up this house a lot easier using 1 plank, like that, and making another path to the right to make grabbing the object way easier. And there we go, I completed the 3rd mission in the TearDown Time Campers DLC.